Welcome back to Officially Unofficial. We're here with a very special guest. He is the number 11 ranked prospect for the Kansas City Royals. Is that good? You tell me. It is my pleasure to welcome Alec Marsh to the Officially Unofficial podcast. How are we doing, Alec?
Good, good. Thanks so much for inviting me. This is pretty exciting.
It's exciting stuff. Humble brag. I mean, we've had your boy on, and let's get right into it. I mean, first off, let's talk about the legend, future starting pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, a guy that absolutely carves, Jonathan Heasley. I mean, let's go into your relationship, your friendship with him. How's it? What do you like? Are you guys living together right now?
Actually, no, I had a big deal this year. I threw for a month in Arkansas in Double A. That's where Heasley is, and then I had some stuff going on at my arm, so I kind of shut down. I came back from it. Took about 6-7 weeks, and it never really went away. So I got shipped out to Arizona, but I'll live in Arizona for the remaining of the season, kind of just rehabbing and stuff like that. But me and Heasley did live together in Arkansas at the time I was there. I was there for about 2 months, 3 months. And just great dude. I ended up meeting him. I got drafted in 2019, and I didn't even meet him until last year at the alternate training camp with the COVID stuff.
Really? So let's
Yeah.
let's give a perspective to like the people, because most of the listeners of this show know Heasley as just a fun-loving, good dude who I obviously pump his tires. I say how nasty he is. Give the listeners, give the fans a perspective on how good Heasley actually is, because I don't think people understand how good this dude is. Like, he just carves.
Extremely underrated. I mean, he is a dude that you can't take the ball away from him. I mean, he wants to go every time he gets the ball, and he wants to go 9 innings. And I mean, he's such a good competitor too. I love the dude because everything that we do, we compete against each other, even in golf, whatever it might be. It's just it's kind of like a brotherly relationship, the brother I never had. So he's an awesome dude, man.
Dude, he's a stick on the golf course, I heard too. Is he just a freak?
He's pretty good. I mean, I think we're hand in hand. We're around the same handicap, which is probably like 5 to 8. But we go back and forth every time we play.
So give me a little bit of a background, because obviously I'm hoping this offseason I can fly down, because I live close to Toronto. I can fly down, give Heasley a go. Give me a little runaround. I mean, does he like to play the mental game? Like, can I get in his kitchen? Can I start chirping him, get playing the mental game with him, or what is he like?
It depends. You'll know if he's locked in first couple holes. So it's like if he's locked in, you can't really get in his dome. But if he starts Captain Chunk of Oats, or if he starts slicing a little bit, then you give him some crap for it, and it gets to him a little bit. But no, he's solid out there, man. I mean, it's so fun to play with him, be on the same team as that guy, and all the other guys in Arkansas too are great. So there's a lot of other pitchers that were there that are top prospects, even not top prospects with the Royals, and it's a great team.
And we also had, like, we did a dual episode with Zach Hockey and him. Where's Zach at right now? Is he in AAA? Hi,
He's
where is
with
he at?
me. He's with me, and he's coming back from a oblique thing. I think he had some tightness in oblique, so he's here right now rehabbing. He should be good. I don't know I don't know his timeline, but dude, it's a weird year for injuries, man. A lot of guys.
It's because of the pause, right? It's because you guys didn't play last year. Has to be it,
Yeah,
right?
has to be. I mean, there's usually when you get injured, a lot of stuff's arm related, if you're a pitcher. And this year, it seems like everyone is getting hurt. I mean, there's a lot of people. And apparently we're the bottom spectrum of the MLB as in injuries. And there's a lot of guys that went down this year. And they're weird. It's all weird stuff, bone related stuff, back stuff, side stuff. Some of it doesn't even have to do with your arm. It's super weird.
So let's go into your golf game. So when you're on the golf course, are you the type of guy that's going to have a couple beers, have a couple pints, maybe throw in the odd chew, maybe have a cigar? Or are you a guy that's like dialed in on the golf course where it's like, I'm locked in this whole round? Like, what kind of guy are you on the golf course?
Dude, I'm loosey goosey, man. I love, a couple drinks. Man, that's the only place I do. I'll put in a chew every once in a while on the golf course. Now
That's
I kind of
electric.
got yeah, I got away from it. I chewed a lot in college, and I met a girl and she hates it, so I got rid of it. But that and fishing, I'll usually put one in. That's about it. But no, dude, I love having fun, staying loose on the golf course. You'll definitely have to come out, and if Heasley's out here, spring training or something, we'll
Yeah,
get on the
I'll make
course.
the trip. I'll figure something out. And then the next thing I want to talk about is you went to ASU, which, being a Canadian kid, ASU is like the pinnacle of schools, party wise, athletics wise. I get like not like athletic wise on the field, but just being an athlete there is the dream. So let's go into that for a second. Before we go into it, I have to ask you, a friend of the show, really good friend of the show, Hunter Bishop. Is he a legend at Arizona State University? This guy's numbers with Torkelson is the most unfair shit I've ever seen in my life.
Oh.
So give me a little perspective on what Hunter Bishop was like, because he's a humble dude. He was humble on the pod, but he's
very
a freak.
humble. Oh, freak athlete, man. He's one of the most talented dudes I think I've played with and been around. We're really, I mean, I talk to the dude almost every day. He lives out here with me as well. And we work out in the off season together. He's the type of guy that he'll put his mind to something and he will master it until he's really good at it. It doesn't matter what it is, right? Like I don't know if you guys talked about the DJ stuff.
Yeah, we did.
But I mean, his junior year, I don't know if he always had a thing for music before that, but it got really serious our junior year of college. And I mean, everyone in the beginning was like, dude, like, you want to be a DJ? Like, come on, like, you're a freak athlete baseball player. And he's a scratch golfer. So it's like, what are you doing being a DJ? And then all of a sudden, you know, a couple of years go by and he's really good at it. I mean, he's making great music right now and everyone's supporting him. And, you know, it got to a point where it's like, because I'd consider myself one of his better friends in his smaller circle. And it got to a point where it's like, dude, do what makes you happy, because that's the only thing that matters in this world at this point, right? Do what makes you happy. And he's doing it, man. He's back on the baseball field. He's making music. He's keeping his mind, you know, in a good place. So it's awesome. He's a freak dude.
I forgot to mention this on the show, but when I had him, but I would legitimately pay to see what his DMs were like at Arizona State University, because this guy, man rocket, good looking dude, mashed on the baseball field and was a DJ. I mean, this guy, I'm assuming you guys had a baseball house or whatever in the clubhouse. Was he always on aux? Was he always playing tunes? Was he the designated aux guy?
He was playing tunes most of the time. I'll give him that. He was playing a lot of tunes. But yeah, I mean, back to the DMs. Like, I mean, it's Arizona State. I mean, this dude, good looking dude, killer on the baseball field. Our junior year, we went through the same process. So me and him, we weren't very good our freshman, sophomore year, and then, you know, we figured it out our junior year and had a blast. And we both had girlfriends our junior year, which was funny. But our sophomore year, I mean, we had a blast, dude. We had a big baseball mansion that we'd throw parties at.
Dude, you're gonna make me pissed.
Our catcher Lyle Lynn had a really nice house, so we were always over there. It was a good time, dude. I feel like if you don't live in the state of Arizona and you grow up somewhere else, I feel like the dream school is Arizona State.
Has to be. I remember like when my baseball team went to Arizona for the Fall Classic, which is that tournament they'd play with like all the scouts. Yeah. I would go to like Dick's Sporting Goods and I would just buy Arizona State gear. Like I would drop like $250 on ASU gear just to make myself feel like I was a part of that school. Like it's the dream school. It's literally the dream school. You see videos of like the parties and all that kind of stuff. So give us a little background. How easy is it? I asked this to Hunter too. How easy is it to recruit someone to go to ASU? I mean, it just take a step on campus. That's how easy.
I'll give you my story of being recruited to Arizona State, because it's pretty funny. It's pretty unique. So I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and you don't get recruited to go anywhere if you live in Wisconsin. Like you have to be unreal at anything to make it out of that place. And the coaches came from Indiana University. So they're a Midwest school and they were recruiting Midwestern guys, and they went to ASU. And I was with Skip and Ben Greenspan were the coaches and assistant coach. That's who my coaches were. So they came from Indiana. So I was kind of under the radar before they moved. And they came to Wisconsin to watch Gavin Lux, who ended up committing. He committed a week after me to ASU. And so they saw him play, and my travel ball coach was like, hey, you got to check this kid out. Skip ended up telling me years later, he didn't even want to check me out. He just stayed at the hotel. And Ben Greenspan actually came and watched me pitch. And they offered me over the phone 2 days later. And ASU was my dream school because, one, I wanted to get as far away from Wisconsin as possible. I wanted to go to the really nice weather place because I was sick and tired of the cold. And I went and visited Florida, and I couldn't stand it because the humidity was just ridiculous. So I fell in love with ASU super young. I didn't think it was a reality until my junior year of high school. So I kind of forgot about it for a couple of years. And then they offered me over the phone and I committed over the phone. Never been to Arizona in my life. And I committed to Arizona State. And they were I didn't even tell my parents for 3 days because they didn't want me to go that far. They wanted me to go to like Illinois State or something because I had like a full ride there and whatever. And so I committed over the phone. They said the first kid to ever do that, never been to Arizona to commit to a school. I committed, verbally committed. My mom, so you know they send the national letter of intent.
Yeah, NLI. Yeah.
NLI. So they send me the NLI. My mom would not let me sign it until we took the official visit. We go to the official visit and I get off the plane and I'm trying to sign it as soon as we get to the field because it's beautiful. I mean, it was just like it was the coolest place like I've ever been. And I was like, I mean, there's no doubt. Like I hadn't even seen anything yet. It was Friday afternoon. I was like, please let me sign the NLI. She wouldn't let me sign it until Sunday. And the whole weekend goes by and we go, we do a huge party with the team and all this stuff. And like I get dropped off at my mom's house at 3 a.m. or the hotel room at 3 a.m. Just
feeling
not in the good shape, shape. And I didn't think she was gonna let me sign it after that. All the teammates were worried that she was gonna tell the coach and all this stuff. It was a great official visit. It was awesome.
Well, dude, honestly, like all you got to do is just realistically go on YouTube and just search Arizona State University, and it's like I'm committing right now. But dude, you mentioned you're under the radar. This is the thing with you that this is how you know you're a dog on the baseball field is when you're like, so yeah, like Florida contacted me. I didn't want to go to Florida. So first of all, if Florida's contacting you, how in God's name are you under the radar? How does that even make sense? Like,
okay, it wasn't. I didn't mean it like that. It was. I went to Miami. I took BP one time, or it was University of Miami, and we took me and my family took a trip. We drove from Wisconsin down to Miami, and I wasn't being recruited by any of these teams, but we visited the colleges.
Oh,
so I went to Georgia, Vanderbilt, a bunch of other places, and a couple months later, I started being recruited. I think the biggest schools, there are some big schools like Arkansas, Louisville, NC State. I almost went to NC State because they offered me more money than ASU, and they were coming off a World Series run that year. So there was other schools, but ASU was it was a gut feeling. Like it was immediate. Like that's where I got to go.
Dude, it's maybe the easiest decision ever, but the fact that you had like Arkansas, you said Arkansas, right? The number one ranked team in the nation as of right now, and NC State and all that kind of stuff. It must have been difficult. Like, did you take official visits there, or you just didn't even take a visit there?
I took official visits to places that were really close. Like I went to Illinois State, I went to UW-Milwaukee, I went to University of Cincinnati. They were like unofficial visits, right? Because back then the rule was you could only get one official visit and you had to be committed to wherever. Now you can take like 7 of them.
Yeah,
and
which
they
is
pay
insane.
for it. Yeah. I couldn't afford to fly out to schools and take visits, so I had to wait till I could get that official done. And so I went on ASU was my first big official, it was my official visit because I was committed there already. So, and dude, back then it was so cool because everyone, if you're a sophomore in high school, junior year in high school, and you got your friends are committed, and everyone's committing, and you're like, I got to get it done. And it's like, it's nerve wracking, dude. Like the recruiting process in high school is crazy because it's like, now you have social media, which is such a big influence. And like, you got everyone, this dude's in 8th grade and he committed to Louisville. And you're like, what are you doing?
That shit pisses me off, man. And I don't know, you could attest to this. The kids, I don't know if you were this guy, I might even be chirping you, but those kids that tweet all of their offers, like,
no,
you're just a clown. Like you see those football players or basketball or whatever, or baseball players.
Football's really like, there's like a thing for football players. Like they have to like tweet every time they get an offer.
And then you have the guy that's like a 5-star recruit, literally just every single day tweeting about 80 different schools offering him. It's insane. And that shit is what pisses me off. But besides the fact living in Wisconsin, obviously it's not like a massive baseball state. Were you just like a freak of athlete there, just pissing people's parents off because you were just carving everyone's ass in the batter's box? Or what?
I was athletic. I was kind of chubby in high school. I wanted to play third base more than I wanted to pitch, actually. I had offers to play third.
You
I
could
liked
swing it.
hitting. Yeah, I practiced hitting 6 hours a day every day in high school. Like I didn't even practice pitching. I pitched because I threw 92. Like I was like 88 to 92,
Yeah.
and no one else in Wisconsin is like that. Like there was like 3 kids in Wisconsin, the whole state of Wisconsin, that threw maybe above 90. Like when I was like a junior.
You're not wrong, man. I mean,
Like
so you were just so in high school, were you just did you throw like no hitters and shit like that, or like were you carving
yeah, it
people
was.
up?
I played high school baseball 1 year. All the other years I played travel ball, and I played my junior year of high school because I was getting attention from schools, and I knew that there was going to be scouts coming, so I knew like I was kind of safe to get offers. So I played high. My buddies were begging me to play, and I did it, and I was like a coach on the team. Like that's how bad we were. I had to send. I had to send. I sent this year actually. I saw a picture of our team. They were in jeans, sneakers, and hoodies for practice. They don't even have practice gear.
That's
Nobody. They didn't
insane.
even have cleats. Some kids didn't even have gloves. So I sent them a bunch of stuff
Good guy.
this
Humble
year,
brag.
which
Good
was
guy.
awesome.
What a good
Which
guy.
was awesome. But no, dude, it was. I threw a 20 strikeout game in high school, and
Are
it
you shitting
was
me?
yeah, it would have been a perfect game. It was a no-hitter, 20 strikeouts. It would have been a perfect game, 21 up, 21 down. But the umpire, there's a 3-2 count, and I threw a fastball right down the middle. And the kid started walking to the dugout, and the umpire just didn't say anything. So he gave him a walk.
Oh my God.
It was I was so pissed. Some kid tried bunting off me in like the 6th inning, and I threw behind his head. He stood there and he turned to his parents were sitting behind the fence, and he was like, I'm not swinging the rest of that bat. He put his bat on his shoulder, and I just threw 3 fastballs down the
That's
middle, and
electric. So you were pretty much like an MLB The Show guy, like 99 overall, like all the attributes were just.
yeah, in Milwaukee Public High School conference. Yeah, it was the worst conference of baseball in the country.
That's such a power move. That's such a power move. That's
I
electric.
mean,
And
I think I batted like 490. Like it was bad. It was a joke.
So I mean, as a guy like me, I hit 186 in JUCO. I would have been like a local legend there too. Like it would
Oh
have been me
yeah.
and you running the team. But dude, I got to go into that first day you step on the like campus at Arizona State. Obviously, it's a massive culture shock. You live in Milwaukee. It's not as hot. Obviously, you're not seeing as many. Let's just say above average looking females there in Arizona. That's just a fact, especially the Arizona State campus. That's just a fact.
Above average.
That's just
Yeah,
a fact.
especially
That's
first
just a
day of
fact.
school.
Yeah. So let's go into that culture shock for you there, man. I mean, what were you thinking? It's just your first day there. It's like a whole new world, right?
It's excitement, dude. It was I actually ended up going early. I did summer school. So there was like I want to say 12 of the freshmen. We went 3 months early to school and stayed here in the summertime, which was miserable because it was 115 out.
Yeah, yeah.
And we started working out. We wanted to get an upper edge coming into fall camp, whatever. So we started working out with our trainer. So we came 3 months early. We took like 2 or 3 classes just to get used to it before everything got hectic, which was awesome. I mean, if I didn't do that, like it probably would have been even more of a culture shock because I had no family out here or nothing. So it probably would have been super hectic. But we did that, man. We stayed. They put us up in these sick apartments for the summer. And I think the worst part was moving from those apartments across the street to Hacienda Village when school started, which is the dorms, and it's a prison cell.
Yeah.
So we go from like a 4-bedroom apartment with a vacant room, and we would just throw bangers in this apartment room with 50 people in one apartment room.
Yeah.
And the football team was in the same apartment complex, so they'd throw parties down the hall. And I remember one time the cops came to our apartment, and we had like 50, everyone underage. Every single person's underage.
Yes, dude.
Every single person's underage. There's alcohol everywhere, and I'm in my room, like about to go to sleep, and the party's still going on. And I get a knock on the door, and I open it. I think it's my buddy, and it's a cop. And I'm like, what is going on? He gets everyone outside of the apartment room, and he looks at us, and there's 3 cops, and they're like, honestly, we're here for another party we got to complain about. This wasn't the one. I saw a ton of alcohol in there. We just happen to knock on this door, but we know the party's down the hall. And he goes, just make sure everyone Ubers home, everyone go back inside and finish the night. And we're like, this is the best case scenario of all time. Like, how does that work?
And then the guys down the hall are getting in shit. Like the guys down the hall are getting underage drinking tickets.
Yeah, they probably got screwed, and he just let us keep going.
Dude,
and we had people on top of the island, like it was packed to the brim.
That's electric.
It was insane.
Dude, it's crazy to me. Like, obviously being a Canadian guy, when I went to school in the States, it's like our drinking age here is 19, right? So like when you're a freshman in university, like actually like end of high school, you're allowed to legally drink, go to the bar and stuff like that. It's such a culture shock to me that your age is 21, man. Like I still can't even wrap my head around that fact. And like I said, when I was in JUCO, my team led the nation in underage drinking tickets. I think I had 2 myself.
Is that a stat?
Yeah, I think we had to. We had to. Dude, I'm not over exaggerating. It was almost like every other weekend we'd just get, all right, the baseball team got another drinking ticket. Like it was idiotic. We'd go to the beach and it would just automatic drinking ticket. Then what we'd have to do is we'd have to do like this sort of rehab drinking program where they'd tell you all. It was crazy, man. Because it's in Nebraska, right? It's kind of like Wisconsin, like the middle of nowhere where like they really abide by the rules of the drinking and all that kind of stuff. And you have a bunch of these out of towner kids, like out of country kids, just ripping booze, like ripping their face off. So it's crazy to me, but that's insane, man. So even at ASU, I mean, when you're a freshman there, is there some sort of like initiation on the baseball team you have to do? Like, are you picking up after all the BP balls? Like, what are you doing as a freshman at ASU?
Oh yeah. Freshman's complete. It's everything. You got to pick up home run balls. You got to do extra running. You got to take extra booze. Like it's
electric.
It wasn't as bad. Yeah, it wasn't. I would say it wasn't bad at all. There was no hazing or anything like that, I thought there was going to be. Like I thought there was going to be. I thought there was going to be more.
There should be. I always think there should
be.
And
the thing that pisses me off is that there was no hazing, and some kid told his mom that there was. And there was a full-fledged investigation on our baseball team. And there was nothing wrong going on, like at all. Like this kid was just upset because he was bad and he quit baseball that year, but it was absurd. Like,
so did, the coach sit you guys down and was he like, is there hazing going on that we don't know about? Like what happened with that investigation?
Everyone got interviewed by the investigators. Everyone.
And everyone's like, I have no idea what this kid's talking about, man. Like, I have legit no idea.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it because it was ridiculous. But it was freshman year also was different because our upperclassmen were divided from our lowerclassmen. Because my recruiting class was the number 1 in the country coming in to ASU.
Who was in that recruiting class? It was you?
Even after the draft. It was me, Hunter Bishop, Gavin Lux, Reggie Lawson, Bo Bichette.
Pardon me?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
It was ridiculous. And we lost Gavin, Reggie, and Bichette to the draft. And it was still the number 1 in the country. Carter Aldretti, Sam Ferry, who was the best catcher out of Chicago at the time. Lyle Lin, who was the first kid drafted out of Taiwan ever. And then a bunch of dudes, man. I mean, it was.
So your team was like legit projected to just be a super team.
Super team, yeah. And then you add the quiet Torkelson number 1 the next year, and it's like no one knew about this kid. I didn't even know who Torkelson was until after fall camp.
How do you not know who Torkelson is after fall? Didn't you face him in the fall?
I don't even remember. I don't think so. Like I don't remember that fall of me facing this kid. That's and incredible. Then I remember talking to our hitting coach, and he was like, Spencer Torkelson, he's like, he's going to be a monster, dude. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't see anything crazy. He had like 2 home runs all fall his freshman year. Like, he wasn't like killing it. Like, no one paid attention to him because it wasn't crazy. And then he hits 25 bombs his freshman year, and you're like, this kid's the best kid. True. Best thing to come out of baseball.
And you want to talk about DMs for Hunter Bishop. Could you imagine what Bo Bichette's DMs would have been like at ASU? Oh my God, dude. He probably, Bo Bichette, if he went to that school, like he would legit need security guards.
Could you imagine what our infield looked like if it was Spencer Torkelson, Gavin Lux, Bo Bichette,
Oh
and
my god.
Carl Andretti at third
That's
base
the most idiotic infield I've ever heard in my life. In college.
for
In
college. Yeah,
college,
that'd be
bro.
stupid.
Dude, that's insane. So did you know Bo, or like you've
My only time I ever met him was on the official visit.
Oh, okay. So
That
you only
was
met him
it.
once.
And he was pretty keen on taking the draft, so I kind of knew he wasn't coming back.
So he just came. He wanted to get a little feel for he wanted to like party for one day. He wanted to get a
Yeah.
party. He wanted to get a party aspect, which I respect the hell out of it
Yeah.
because that
Well,
was
his
probably
mom. I mean, his mom was like, if he doesn't go in the first round, he's going to college.
Oh yes,
And
okay.
he ended up going, I think, in the third round.
But I
or
think he got
second.
first round money though. I think he got like close to first round money.
Yeah. So he went, and now he's been playing the league for what, 2 years?
Yeah. I mean, good for him. He's just like I said. He's
3 years.
I would risk. I said. I think I've said this before. I would risk my life for Bo Bichette. That's just plain and simple. Being a Toronto guy, I love Bo Bichette. But I wanted to go into your time at ASU. You on the bump because obviously you had to have carved there if you went 70th overall in the draft. Is that good? You tell me. So you obviously there. Your junior year, like you said, that was the year that you and Hunter absolutely just raked, absolutely just carved. Let's go into that junior year and what you think made you that 70th overall pick. What like plummeted you to be such a high overall pick?
Dude, getting sick and tired of losing and being terrible. That'll kind of get you there. My freshman and sophomore year were the worst 2 years in Arizona State baseball history.
Really?
Yeah, we went 23 and something. ASU's never had 23 wins in the history of ASU. They've always had more than that. That was the lowest. And then I came out of the pen my freshman year. I almost quit baseball. My sophomore year, I went into the starting role my sophomore year and turned into our Friday night my sophomore year.
Holy shit.
Halfway through. And then it's because no one else was doing it. Like we were so bad, it was just like someone has to do something. And I was sick and tired of losing. So I started pitching better. And then I went to the Cape that year and had a really good pitching coach in the Cape Cod League.
Showed him out.
Yeah. Christian Wonders, dude. I trust this dude with my life. He's probably one of the best pitching coaches I've ever had. He showed me a slider that I still use to this day. Same pitch, probably one of my best pitches now. He tapped into my velo. I mean, in 10 minutes. This dude talked to me for 10 minutes. And I gained like 3 miles an hour in like 10 minutes.
Is he God?
I mean, he could be. His last name is Wonders. I think he's a pitching coach for the Padres now. I talk to him every once in a while. He lives out here too, but no, he's great. He was great. And I came back kind of just with a little chip on my shoulder. I was like, I shoved in the Cape. I know I closed. So I just went in there and just threw as hard as I could and got dudes out and punched tickets, kind of got what that feeling tastes like. And then I went back to school like, all right, like this is you have to get drafted. Like you have to get drafted high. Like you got to ball out. So kind of just acted the part and it fell through just like that.
So when did you kind of have like an understanding, like I'm going to go top 100 picks, like I'm going to go 70th overall?
Well, halfway through the season, I think I had the best record. I had the best stats in the country.
Holy shit.
The first 7 starts, I think I was 7-0 with a 0.6.
Oh my God.
I think. Don't quote me on it, but it was something like that. It was pretty close.
So let me look at your yeah, okay. No, dude, I think you had a 159 in the Cape, and then yeah, you went there. Okay, so the Cape obviously helped out. Like the Cape kind of plummeted you to go be so nasty, right? Is that like that's what kind of did it? So and then obviously where were you when you got drafted? Do you have a big party? Like what went on there? You get after it?
So we went to regionals for the first time in my life at ASU. We went to LSU, got our shit kicked in. We flew back the day of the draft to Arizona.
Wow.
And my whole family flew out to Arizona to meet me there. We went to Hunter Bishop's house first because we knew he was going to go like top 10 picks.
Yeah.
So we went to Hunter's place first. Everyone was there. Whole team was there. And then since we knew I was going to go probably like later in the day, he got picked. We all went to my uncle's mansion in Gilbert, and he has a huge movie theater and all this stuff. So we put it up on the big screen and just got wild. And there was probably like 50 people there, and it was awesome.
That's incredible. So obviously you signed for, I got that. That's a pretty good slot value. What was like the dumbest thing you bought with that money? Are you ripping around in like a range? What kind of car you got? Like, what are you doing with that money? What's some of the dumb things you've done?
My car is probably the biggest expense. I paid off school right away.
Yeah.
Which was, I don't know, some odd amount. I can't remember. But then I bought an Audi S4. So nothing too crazy, but it's a great car.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good whip.
That was the biggest thing. Yeah. I never had a car in high school or anything. So I was like, as soon as I got drafted, I was like, my present to myself would be the car. That's been about it, dude. I got a girlfriend. She's expensive sometimes.
That's you got to respect that. At the end of the day, and I'm looking at your signing bonus. I'm not going to say it out loud. The people, if you want to know it, just search it. Good for you, my man. I mean, are you like I saw you tweet, actually, credit to me for doing my research. Are you a Dogecoin guy? Like, what are you doing? Are you investing in shit with that money?
I was going crazy on it for a little bit, because I was actually, this year's when I got into it was kind of the midst of beginning of the season when everybody was tweeting about Dogecoin and all that stuff, and it skyrocketed. I bought in at like 18 cents, and I think I got up to like 80 cents or something. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, this is free money. This is like, what do we like? I'm going to get into this. And then, a couple weeks later, it's back down to 20 cents or whatever. So it's been a roller coaster. I barely look at it now. I got a couple buddies on the team that were going crazy, making tons of money because they knew what they were doing, and they were just doing research. So I was like, this looks fun. And you got to do you got to know what you're doing though, when you're putting your money and stuff like that. So
true. And I mean, and I don't know if I have this correctly, but you were living with Bobby Witt too. Is that correct?
I am in Bobby Witt's house right now.
Okay. Humble brag. Just a guy that I would legit another guy I'd sacrifice my life for. What is Bobby Witt like? I mean, like I said, I legit love this dude. I think in my mind, no respect to Ali Rutschman, I think Bobby Witt's the number one ranked prospect in baseball. Plain and simple. I think Bobby Witt's the number one ranked prospect in baseball. So, I mean, what's Bobby Witt like?
I mean, whatever your perception of Bobby Witt is, it's probably true. Like, there's not many people I've met a lot of guys that have signed for $7-8 million. And I've played with a lot of guys, and I mean, Torque's definitely worth it, but there's not many players where you're like, all right, I see why he's, he is the way he is, or I see why, what the hype is and stuff like that. And Bobby Witt, like, I would have given the kid $50 million if that was the slot. Like, I mean, he's worth everything and some. His character is unmatched. He's such a good teammate. He's always learning. I learned from this kid, and he's 2 years younger than me. Like, I would talk to him all the time because he just sees stuff that no one else sees. In the game of baseball, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how you teach that or where he gets it from. I mean, his dad played 16 years in the big leagues. That probably had a little something to do with it. But he's unreal. He does something every single day that you're like, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, dude, it's like
even when he's playing bad, it's something crazy.
Even when he's playing bad, he probably goes 1 for 4 with a double, and that's just a bad day for Bobby Witt. And he's just missing one thing in his pet. I mean, like I said, humble brag with this podcast. We've had number one ranked prospects. We've had all that stuff. He's missing one thing, and that's coming on this show. I've been grinding to get this dude on the show. I don't know what I have to do. I will DM him every day for a year if I have to get this dude on the show. It has to get done. We've had Heasley. I need to get stories of both of you from Bobby Witt. I need it from Bobby Witt's mouth. So is this guy, is he the guy that's kind of, will he soak the tab at dinner? Is that the kind of guy he is?
Oh my God. Yeah. He's awesome, dude. I mean, I couldn't say enough good things about the kid. That's
electric. What's he like?
He can play lifetime. I don't know. I've only faced him, I think, twice.
So what is it? 1 for 2, 0 for 2?
1.
Oh, he's with a walk?
I think I walked him, and he hit a ground ball up the middle off me.
Okay. No, that's
scorched it. I mean, a piss missile. He's a hard out, dude. If you throw him one pitch and you try, like, if you throw him one thing twice, like, he's gonna hit it the second time. It doesn't matter where it's at.
What's the scariest? What's like the most breathtaking thing you've seen him do on a baseball field? Like, have you seen him? I don't know if he had a game last year. I think he had 2 nukes in one game, went like 4 for 4. I don't remember specifically if that was last
This
year or
year,
this year.
This year, so me and him shotgunned to Red Bull before the game, and he hit 3 homers that game. Which was, so we started shotgunning Red Bulls before every game together. And
That's
I mean,
incredible.
I don't need a Red Bull. Like, I'm not playing. I was bat boy. So I was like,
screw it. Yeah.
Yeah, some days you got to get hyped up to be bat boy or doing the chart or whatever. But no, he hit 3 homers that game. That was insane. I mean, he's just.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's a freak, but do you feel bad for him though? Like, in a sense where every visiting ballpark he goes to, he has to sign like 5,000 autographs. Like, is there a sense of you that feels bad for like this dude getting mugged? Because we've heard stories of Brendan Rodgers, we've heard stories about like these massive prospects. It must be a little bit. It must take away the fun of the game when this guy's getting mauled every second.
I mean, in Double-A too, dude. Like, no, I mean, I've gotten my autograph asked for maybe a handful of times all year when I was there. And this kid has 25 people after every game sitting outside. And this was like, they weren't even allowed to be there, like, because of COVID stuff. Like, and people just didn't care. Like, our coach had to yell at people to like get out of there. Like,
it's like that little. Are you talking about that little compartment? I don't know. I haven't been to that field, but there's a lot of minor league fields where it's like a little compartment between the dugout and the field where they have like the players have to walk through to go to their cars, right?
There's that, and then in the parking lot, mainly everyone sits in the parking lot or like outside the door that we go to the parking lot, and there'll just be a line. It's like paparazzi, dude, and it's just like kids and parents and old guys, and it's like, I mean, every day, like, Bobby will sit in the dugout or in the locker room for like 2 hours sometimes just to like wait to see if these people will leave. Like, there's a field, I don't know if it was Frisco or something, but like there was a hidden entrance that only Bobby would use.
Really?
And everyone, so he didn't have to see anybody, which is awesome. But I mean, everywhere this kid goes, he said when he got off the plane for the All-Star game, there was like 100 people.
Really? Like the Futures game?
In the airport. Yeah, in the Futures games.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, it comes with the territory, man. When you're as big of a prospect as he is, like, could you imagine what it'd be like for a guy like Ohtani whenever he goes back? Or it must be just it's overwhelming, man. This guy's gonna have to have bodyguards at one point. Like, he honestly will.
I can't believe he's not the number 1 prospect in baseball. I know Adley. Adley's unreal. He's amazing. I played against him, and I've never seen anything like. I mean, Torque too. Like, Torkelson is unreal, amazing, top 3 best baseball players I've ever played with. But it goes. I mean, Bobby Witt in my mind is like, I mean, one of the best.
Dude, and this is the thing, because he's younger, right? He's younger than Adley Rutschman. Adley Rutschman got his years in college. He's a little bit older. Yes, he's a big prospect, but this Bobby Witt kid, I believe he's 19. Is that correct? He's 2 years younger than you, so he's
21.
Yeah, he's 21. Sorry, he's 21.
He's an older high school kid.
Yeah, okay, so he's 21 and he's in AAA already. Like, it's you can't even really, like, for people that don't really follow baseball that much, you can't really wrap your head around it. But there's rarely 21-year-olds playing AAA right now. Like, if not, there's any, to be honest, especially from his.
I mean, but the thing is, he could have played in the big leagues last year.
Yeah,
but they're not going to do that, obviously. But like, he could play. I mean, the kid's batting like 350 with 25 homers right now, and he's, like, it's unreal. Like, they're not going to start his clock or anything, but I mean, he could have played in the big leagues last year when he was 20 years old, no doubt in my mind. I mean, this kid, I remember the first time, like, I was like talking to someone about him, and I didn't really, I hadn't seen the hype yet. And then I just saw him do stuff, and I'm like, okay, this kid's pretty good. And then I played with him in the alternate site, and I was like blown away. He was the best player there, like, by far, probably. And then someone told me he threw 98 off the bump in high school. And I was like, that makes sense. Like, of course, like, why wouldn't he? Like,
that's insane,
he's got the biggest forearms you've ever seen.
I did see a video of him swinging a bat. He swung it like,
he's got like the meatiest hands, like just the thickest hands I've ever seen in my life. Like, he's a freak. He's got some crazy stuff going on, and he's so fast. I mean, The
We
kid's
could go all
gifted.
day about him. We can go all day
Yeah, I
about him.
could
But
talk
like I
about
said, he's
Bobby.
missing one tool. If somehow, some way, we have to finesse this man on the podcast. Humble brag, we've had big leaguers. We've had guys that threw no hitters in the big leagues. Somehow, some way, we need this man on the pod. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we're going to figure this shit out. But let's go back into your career for a second. So you're right now, I mean, obviously you're rehabbing right now, but what's it like in Arkansas? Like, what's that facility like and all that kind of stuff? I know there's not many people there. Is that correct?
What do you mean, like not many people?
Like, is it in like a small town?
It's in Fayetteville, so it's right next to the University of
Oh,
Arkansas.
okay. Okay.
So it's a
I had it
big
wrong.
college town. Yeah, it's pretty sweet actually. I was stoked when I got there, dude, because I was in rookie ball when I
Yeah,
got
you went up
drafted.
3 levels, right?
Yeah, so I went from rookie ball to alternate site to double
Double
A.
A. That's a good jump.
Yeah, which I was completely ready for. Like I kind of knew that's where I was going. Like that was one of my goals, was to start in double A. And started the season off really good, had a really good spring training, obviously got hurt, but we'll get back on the field. But place is awesome, dude. I love it. It's
Really?
I think everything. I mean, I think I liked it so much just because it wasn't Idaho Falls, because that place was miserable.
Yeah,
And
I think Kingsley said that place sucks. Like I heard it's just like the trenches, bro. It's like a
Yeah.
grind to even play.
It is a grind, yeah. But I think what made it even better was the teammates, for sure. I mean, we had an unreal team, great teammates. I mean, the majority of like the prospects on Royals were on that team.
Yeah. No, I mean, in humble brag, you're the number 11 prospect. Is that good? You tell me. Do you look into that shit? Like, did you have an idea you were the number 11 prospect?
I didn't know. I think I'm going on like month 5 or 6 without Twitter, so I don't see a ton of stuff anymore that much.
Wow, you went zero dark. You went LeBron mode on Twitter.
I did for a little. Yeah, it's not even on my home screen, so I can't even see it. But I don't even get notifications anymore. But
are you serious? You're just done with Twitter?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'll pick it up again, like maybe in the off season or something. But I don't know, dude. It's hard because I was dealing with injury, and I just didn't want to see all of my friends balling out. Like, I mean, it's hard because I got friends in the big leagues. I got friends that are double A, triple A, and like I'm trying to get up there as fast as I can. And it's like, once you get hurt and you can't play anymore, you're like, dude, like I can't just keep watching baseball every day. Like I can't keep, checking it. Like I started worrying about the wrong things. So I just got rid of it.
You have FOMO, realistically. Yeah, fear of missing out. No, I can respect that. That's the same how I am. Like, obviously a little part of me would hate to see guys in my JUCO who I'm grinding with hitting like 380. Cause I'd be like, I wish that was me, but no, I'm hitting 180 on the bench. Like it's just a little bit of the FOMO aspect, which is fine. But so right now, where are you at? I mean, with your rehab progress, are you going to be back in double A soon? Like, yeah, I think you said that earlier, right?
I'm done throwing this season.
Oh, you're done.
I think there's 6. Yeah, there's 6 weeks left of the season. I'm on a no throw for the next 6 weeks.
What happened?
It was a freak injury, dude. It's like it's hard to explain. It's called a stress reaction of the humerus, which is this bone underneath your bicep.
Yeah.
I thought it was tendonitis. I was dealing with it since like spring training, kind of through it, and it got to a point where I just couldn't keep throwing through it. We finally got an MRI, and it's just inflammation around the bone. It's a freak thing. It's in a really weird spot. They're not used to it in that spot, but it's just 6 to 8 weeks, no throw, and I'm good. It doesn't even hurt. Like it hasn't hurt in 2 weeks.
It doesn't hurt. Like
it only hurt when I was throwing.
So can you even make, like, right now, hypothetically, if you made a throwing motion, would that shit hurt? Like you haven't even tried?
No. Well, I have. I mean, I took 10 days off, came back from that, and threw 2 lives. And I was like, my velocity, my bullpen, I felt better than I felt in spring training after I took those 10 days off.
Yeah.
And after 2 weeks, I didn't feel it at all. And then it came back immediately. So that was when we decided to like get images on it and whatnot. But hey, we'll get back there. It's just part of the plan, man.
It's crazy, man. Like, especially like just obviously guys that are especially like Hikes and Vito, like Zach Hockey, right? I mean, I think he hits 100, right? Is he like in the 100 club or close to it? I think he hit 100.
Really? I have
Yeah.
no idea. I thought he was like 92, 94 this season. And then his oblique thing happened. I have
Oh,
no
okay.
idea.
I have no idea. I was always told he threw his like 98 to 100, but that's fine. I had no idea. Like, I guess I could be wrong on
Murdoch
that.
is like that, and he's another tall, lanky
Yeah, I could. Yeah,
dude. He's kinda like that.
I could have swore it was Zach Hockey, but no. So right now, what you're saying is your arm feels perfectly fine. It's just they're literally telling you like it's going to aggravate it and make it even worse, even if you throw right now. Or what are they saying?
Basically, it just needs time to heal because I didn't take much time off last year because of COVID. So the repetitiveness of not taking time off, added velocity, that stuff takes a toll on your body. So it just needs a break. That's basically all it is.
So you've just been running a shit ton of COD. Like, what are you doing? Like, are you allowed to golf with that shit or what?
I am. I'm golfing. I'm gonna golf a lot more. I've been playing video games. I got other guys that are rehabbing at how Jonathan Boland's with me. We're really good friends. So we're hanging out all the time. He just brought home some Chick-fil-A. So
that's a power move. We don't have Chick-fil-A. We don't have Chick-fil-A here. Actually, no, I think we have one Chick-fil-A in Toronto, and that's it. But and it's the last thing I want to bring up here, man. I mean, so going into next year, I mean, is the show the goal? Like, obviously you're rehabbing, so you haven't been thrown. Are you going to go to the fall league this fall? Like, what's going on there? Like, what's the goals going into next year?
Yeah, the plan is to throw a couple innings in the fall league, probably towards the end. If I get built up in time, see how it feels. Obviously if the pain and everything's gone, that'll give me good confidence going into spring training. So hopefully get another big league invite and just do what I did this year, but just feel healthy. Like I started the year off great, felt good, big league camp, started the season off pretty good. So I think it's just, if I'm healthy, like I know I'm going to be there. So that's basically it. It's
for sure.
healthy.
And I saw actually Mike Matheny was just pumping your tires at spring training. I don't know if you saw this quote from him. He said he had he didn't really know about you until you came into this spring training, and I think you threw one scoreless against the Padres, and he's like, "Who's this guy?" Like that's when you kind of came onto his radar. So I mean, you're there. I mean, Mike Matheny knowing who you are, a legend, the manager, the skip. That's just a good place to be, man. But anyways, bro, I mean, obviously it was a pleasure to have you on. You're the former face of ASU on the bump, just the guy that I needed to get on the pod. I should have told Heasley. I should have asked him earlier. Last day, did you get invited to Heasley's wedding?
I didn't know Heasley.
Oh, you didn't know him?
Yeah.
Okay. So we share one thing. We both weren't invited to Heasley's wedding because I knew him before that wedding. So we both weren't invited. But anyways, brother, obviously I appreciate you coming on the podcast. Maybe we'll run Warzone after this. Who knows? We'll figure something out.
I mean, we have to. We should. I enjoy talking to you. Enjoy the podcast. I think this is awesome. Awesome that some of my friends are doing this too. Having Hunter on and Heasley, that's great stuff. So hopefully we can get back on in a couple of years when I'm in the show and get some other guys.
No, but and I say this to every guest, and obviously like guests that are big time prospects like yourself. The day after your debut, you're gonna have to promise me like we get first dibs on you because we're riding with you now. Obviously, you're rehabbing. We're riding with you. I had to get you on. We're boys now. That day after the debut, I might even be there. Who knows? I promised Heasley I'll be there at his. I'll be at yours too. I'm going to promise you that right now also.
Awesome.
The day after, we got to get you on the pod. Let's break the internet.
Let's make it a deal. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you so much, man.
Thank you for listening to Officially Unofficial. Make sure you guys subscribe and leave a review on iTunes and follow us on Twitter at @FishOnAFishPod and on Instagram at @OfficiallyUnofficialPod. Thank you.